Hi, good evening, everyone. So happy that you're on tonight. I'm going to ask Sion. Oh, no, Sion is not on. Just give me 1 minute. See, we're having some technicals. Dane, can you just pull your screen up and start for me, please? Dane?
My apologies. I'm here, Georgia. I'm doing just the same. Thanks. All right. I trust that everyone can see my screen and that we're all doing well. I'm Dane Parker, sitting in for Sion Spence at this point in time. I do ask that you share your thoughts, your comments, and your ideas on this presentation. You can do so in the chat, and at the same time, you can feel free to share your thoughts as we continue. So this afternoon, tonight, we'll be looking at boosting your yields using the Miller line of soluble fertilizers and biostimulants. This, of course, the conversation will be centered and surrounded around the various products carried by Caribbean Chemicals under the brand Miller. Just to verify, can you all hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Okay, yes. Wonderful, excellent.
Yes,
okay, excellent. Okay, all right. So we're talking about using biostimulants, of course, to elicit a particular response. And what are we talking about here? We're talking about improving crop productivity, reducing the various stress factors that the plant may come under, while at the same time providing a high quality nutrition package for that crop in question, and also targeting the growth or the phenological stages of that product, of that plant in particular. So the Miller company that we're here mentioning supplies to over 90 countries. They are out of Baltimore in Maryland. They've been established from 1968. So this is a well-entrenched entity that has been doing some serious work in the field of agriculture. Additionally to that, we're talking about partnering with individuals from a Caribbean Chemicals point of view who can provide the farmers as well as meet our mandate in terms of growing the farmers' yield. And so that partnership, of course, came about, natural and normal. So the portfolio that we carry boasts one major factor. At the center is the sustainability as it relates to environmental health. And, that stewardship is not something that we put down so easily. It is the core of who we are and what it is that we do. And so out of sustainability, of course, will come excellence and, of course, ethical behavior. So the Miller line of products are so suited with soluble products. And these are fertilizers and biostimulants, as mentioned. We talk about the fertilizers being a Kickstart, which is at 12,488. So that high phosphorus potential there, providing the crop with that initial root development. We didn't just back off of the phosphorus because it's going to play a critical role in flowering. And so your Nutrient Express, the 44127, is so designed to carry on that feature. We're talking about keeping the plant cytokinin dominant versus auxin dominant. And you'll realize and understand that as I progress in the conversation here tonight. The crop finisher or to tie off to give you that high potassium base is in the form of your Sugar Express. Now, those are the three main soluble fertilizers. We do have micronutrients that I'll mention shortly. But when it comes on to some specific and specialty products that are geared towards delivering those plant-based hormones, and these are naturally synthesized and just extracted, and so they are plant-based extracts. So we talk about cytokin. We also have Cytoplex as well as green stem that comes with betaines and other products inside of it, which is geared towards relieving plant stress. So that's where we are when we look at the overview. Additionally to that, we're talking about your adjuvants in the form of your exit along with your new FMP. So the key to note is that Miller has a diverse portfolio, but we selected those that would benefit the farmer mostly in terms of their crop production need. As mentioned, also, we do have ZMC Express, which is zinc, magnesium, and calcium in one mixture, along with boron, your manganese, and other products present, along with microplex, that is iron, zinc, and others. So they are geared towards correcting your micronutrient deficiencies, as well as when paired with what we refer to as the 4x4 technology, gives a plant that complete package for the growth stage that it's currently in. And so the supplements, as mentioned, and I will continue to emphasize this, is made from food grade material. And this is important because it's not just chloride free, but it's free from any major impurities. It's the cleanest there is that you'll ever find. And not just that, you're getting a fertilizer solution or a product that, of course, can give you the deliverables. So when you apply it, it's going to be translocated, it's going to be absorbed by the crop, and that's going to give you the ultimate benefit of getting that yield that we're talking about. So we talk about Kickstart being 1248.8. It comes with your micronutrient packet, and that is important because you want to stimulate root development. But let's divert a minute here and ignore the 1248.8. The zinc and the manganese are going to be playing that role in assisting with your root development, with continuing what we call the cytokinin dominance, which is giving the plant actually the potential to produce that root mass. So the micronutrient elements that are here are so designed to elicit the response, as well as backing that up now is your macronutrient. So this is a flip to the whole script that some of us would have been aware of already. Notice I'm focusing on the micronutrient packet and then indicating to us that it's the micronutrients that are going to actually be aiding the movement of your macronutrients. So just so you can be clear on that. The idea here, if you've just transplanted out, you can use a Kickstart. Also, if you're in a nursery and say, for example, you have your seedlings, you can give them a quick drench. And this, of course, is going to help them also with that rapid takeoff. You want quick establishment simply because you want the plant to overcome that new environmental stress while at the same time producing new leaves and shoots and buds. And the only way you can get that going is, of course, to give the crop or the plant what it needs at this point in time. The application rate varies between 5 grams or 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon. And this is dependent upon the age of your crop or how you are applying it. I put it this way because seedlings will require a low dose application versus already established plants in field. And of course, you are pretty much and very much aware of this. And so from a seedling point of view or a nursery point of view, we normally go 5 grams or 1 teaspoon per gallon, as well as established plants, you go up to 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. Ideally, too, we have this product in various sizes, and in particular, we're talking about it being available in 100 gram, a 250 gram, 500 or a pound, and then you have also a 1 kg or 2.2 pounds. that is very much flexible and can be utilized by, you know, varying persons as you go across the platform and as you so require the product to be used. So again, the strategy, quite simple, quite clear, but at the same time, can be utilized throughout your crop cycle, but you can mix and match and add accordingly to give the crop that response that you so desire. Now, added to that, I want to showcase and show you what the Kickstart or what this product in particular can do for you in terms of getting that response that you so need. Now, note carefully that what we did was to drench these plants, and this is in a well-established plant nursery. And if you note carefully, we're talking about a bigger root mass. We're also looking at longer or taller plants, and at the same time, the girth of that plant itself is pretty much larger. So you're getting thicker stems or stalks. You're going to be getting that massive root mass, and at the same time, you're getting a plant that is very much flexible in terms of turgid and can be transplanted with relative ease. So the other in the lineup is your Nutrient Express, and this is 44127. Again, low nitrogen, but the nitrogen that is present here is in a urea-based form that is going to be helping the plant to, you know, translocate the other NPKs and as well as your microelements. We're talking about it being packed with amino acids with a view to give you or give the plant that rapid response and take up. So it's also containing your multivitamins or your NPKs, also your micronutrients, and your seaweed extract. Again, the idea here is to give you a product that is suitable for different stages, yes, while providing the plant with total nutrition. So you're getting a complete package with your Nutrient Express 44127. Again, the express side of the technology now is what I want to emphasize here. As it states, and you might be wondering why express, the products from Miller contains what we refer to as a transcuticular delivery system. Simply put, the minerals themselves can be brought into the plant without any energy input from the plant through any active transport or any other physiological processes that the plant may require. Unlike other mineral fertilizers, these can basically move through the cuticles of the plant without the plant requiring any energy output to get this fertilizer into the plant. So you're getting that enhanced metabolic activity, while at the same time, you're getting a product that is not going to be forming any harsh crystals on the plant surface, and at the same time, scorching or causing any what we call phytotoxic effect. So you're getting an overall benefit in total when you use your Miller Nutrient Express. Now, as mentioned, it's not just the average NPK. You're getting other compositions very much present, and the plant can respond and will respond to your Nutrient Express. It can be used as a standalone, or it can be paired with the other products that I'm going to be mentioning shortly. So it's diverse in that you can go foliar too, as well as you can go via a drench or fertigation if you so require and so desire. The other benefit of the 44127 or the Nutrient Express is that it's going to be promoting what we call multiple flower and fruit set. And because of the high phosphorus that is present, the 41% phosphorus, you're going to be maintaining that flowering activity. And that's what you want your plant to do. The phosphorus present is so designed to maintain or to provide what we call ATP. This is adenosine triphosphate. And notice it's made from phosphorus. So the benefit here is that the phosphorus is providing energy literally to the plant. Made with the Express technology, that phosphorus along with your other NPK and micronutrients, can be absorbed with relative ease and quickly. We're talking about improving the quality and the color and the flavor profile of your product. When I mentioned the transcutaneous delivery system, this is what I'm referring to. Within 15 minutes of that application, that product is within the plant system and within the plant tissues. And of course, giving the crop what it needs so it can respond physiologically. So the foliar nutrients literally can be absorbed into the plant structure with relative ease. And so that's what we talk about when we talk about the Nutrient Express. Again, too, because the nutrients are moving in the plant structures, you're limiting the need for any wash off because you're getting penetration into your plant structure. Again, your major crops that you can think of or use where Nutrient Express is concerned, you're talking about your cucurbits, your cantaloupe, your watermelons. It can be applied to your sweet potatoes. And so right across the board, your Nutrient Express can be utilized in your crop. So you can use it as a Kickstart program, or you can use it also as and during your growth and developmental stages of the crop. Now, like the other product, the application rate ranges from 1 to 1.5 tablespoons, or you can go up to 2 tablespoons per gallon of water. You can be applied to a range of ornamentals or flowering plants. You can go the route of also applying it to fruit tree crops or even your orchard crops. And again, the benefit here is that it's a dense product, high in your nutrient ratios, while at the same time readily available for your crop to absorb and utilize accordingly. Again, it can be combined with your cytokinin, or you can combine with your Cytoplex along with your green stem to give you added benefit in terms of your growth and development that you so seek. And we're going to explore some of those later on in the conversation. I see a number of persons with, I'm sure if there are questions in the chat, but I'll look at those in short order and respond accordingly. This Nutrient Express, as mentioned, can be utilized well in others. Now, the other member of the family is your cytokinin. Now, I want to point out something to us, the viewers and participants tonight, is that when you're applying your biostimulant or your biostimulant product, you cannot stimulate your plant or your crop without putting on a nutrient program. Why is this so? You might be asking yourself. Consider yourself taking an iron tablet or some multivitamins and not eating. That mineral that you're taking in or you're giving to the plant cannot elicit that response or give that response that you're targeting. And so what you'll end up doing is to stress the plant out further. So you might just reverse or cause further damage or harm to that crop. So the cytokinin is combined or composed with your cytokinin as well as your auxins. And these hormones are beneficial to the plant. But let me just step back here for a moment and just give you a quick background. The plants normally have 5 major hormones that they secrete and utilize throughout the growing cycle. The cytokinin and the auxins are 2. The other one is gibberellins. The 2 remainder include your abscisic acid as well as your ethylene. Now, the first 3 that I mentioned are geared towards crop production activities. The others are geared towards what we call senescence or aging. And so if you find that you're getting leaf fall and leaf drop, then it means that more abscisic acid is being produced, more ethylene is being produced. And so that brings the plant closer to aging or termination of its growth and development. Now, a simple strategy then could mean that if you have, for example, like a mite infestation and you have the plant, you're seeing the symptoms and you're applying the Nizoran cure, what we normally say to farmers is combine that Nizoran cure along with your cytokine. And what you'll see happening is literally that the plant will start to regrow because those stunted area will push out more branches and start. So you're getting bud initiation, and you're also going to be getting flowering taking place. And as well as, of course, once you're getting flowering and bud initiation, then you're going to be getting your fruit set. Cytokine also induces your root as well as your leaf and bud development. So it's applied foliarly, but I've seen in instances where farmers apply it via their irrigation system through their hydroponic setup with a view to give a particular response when they're treating certain issues. And I'll mention that further on though. Now, cytokinin also helps with the promotion of the enlargement of your leaves as well as your fruit. So you're getting that bigger size and larger surface area of the leaves. And the benefit to that is the bigger the engine or the area to photosynthesize, it simply means that you can capture more sunlight and then you can also create faster growth and development as the crop progresses. So there we have the cytokine, of course, we're talking about. Its application is diverse, it's wide. You can use it in whichever crop you can think of, be it your peas and your beans. In your solanaceous crops, it's even more excellent. You're going to see that response. So you're talking about your hot peppers, your eggplants, your tomatoes. You're going to see that response, and it's going to be a very wide and diverse and excellent benefit as you apply it in those crops. In your ornamentals, like your orchids, you're going to be getting more bracts coming out. You're going to be seeing more flowers, and so you're going to get long-term benefits here and now. In crops like your peanut and your beans, it's going to help with the stimulation of those buds to give you more blossoms, and that of course is going to give you the extended benefit. It's applied at 1 to 2 teaspoons or 2 to 4 teaspoons rather per gallon. That's 10 to 20 mils per gallon of water, and the available sizes include your 100 mil, it's a 250, and your 500 as well as 1 liter sizes. So the sizes vary based on the needs that you so desire and have, and so you can of course choose that appropriate size that fits into your scheme of things. Let me just check the chat for a moment here and see where you can some of the responses that are coming across here for a moment. Okay, large farms can access 25 pounds. Okay, good. Okay, so Georgia or somebody else is monitoring the chat. That's wonderful. Excellent. So we're talking about these products on the basis that you're stimulating biology. And I want to mention that again, we're stimulating the biology. We're not causing the plant to deviate from the normal processes. Bear in mind that the plant has these hormones, will produce them. All you're doing is to help the plant along to ensure that they maintain these balances and not go into the production of your abscisic acid along with your ethylene that is going to cause senescence and cause fruit drop and all those things to occur. So it's a diverse process and a deeper process that takes place into your plants. You want to be on top of that so as to get that activity going and going forward. Now, to add to that, now to the slew of things, we have your Cytoplex. And Cytoplex, like your other products. All right, so the question is, does Cytoplex use along with your green stem? Yes, indeed. And again, I'm going to show you how you can integrate those into your crop production activities to elicit particular responses in your crop. All right, so we're just breaking them down individually for now, and then we will go into how you position and pair so as to give you the kind of responses that you so desire. All right, so now I hope you're taking nice notes. I hope you're making your jottings, as you go along. So your Cytoplex, this is the product that contains your gibberellic acid. Now, it also comes with your auxins, and cytokinins. So the Cytoplex is kind of the combination of, but more specifically, when you position them in certain ways, you get some responses. So what are the benefits? You're getting faster flowering. You're talking about increased height of the plant. You talk about increase in the size of your fruit and fruit quality, along with increased pollination. In some cases, you talk about when you have your screenhouse products and you do have your pollinators present, and you can't get to move through that plot and to do what needs to be done, your Cytoplex can aid into that process. When you talk about wanting to rejuvenate as well as improve your branching in your celery and your scallion and your thyme, this is the product to use. And for those persons who have lychee and those bigger fruit trees, you can, of course, at the end of your crop, when you prune back, you can stimulate the plant again with your Cytoplex to give you that additional, that second year or that first year blossom, rather than to go into a second year fruit loss, where especially lychee is concerned. The application rates when it comes on to your scallion and your celery, you use that. You can start out as a drench with your Kickstart. So here's a simple strategy for those who are on the platform who are growing scallion. We normally do a Cytoplex solid grow, a Cytoplex Kickstart, and then that foliar application or drench gives you that early takeoff and rapid root development, because these plants are going to produce side shoots, and that's what you want in the early phase of your crop development. Again, too, when it comes on to your peppers and your tomatoes, your solanaceous plant. So if you grow eggplant as well, this is something to listen out for. You talk about one-off application in the 4 to 6 leaf stage, which is just after transplant, and then further into your crop, when you get into week 4, you do another application. So 4 weeks after and the first week after you've applied or transplanted those seedlings. And this is used at 2 tablespoons per gallon of water. This is a one-off injection right here that's going to give you a massive response in your crop. When it comes on to your pumpkins and your watermelons, your cantaloupe, the secondary branches are the ones that give you more fruit set. And so when you apply your Cytoplex, right, that increases vine growth, but you're also going to get those laterals coming off. Why is it important? You want those rapid fruit set in the early stages. The initial or the first branch or the first growth is going to give you more male blossoms. When you apply your Cytoplex, you're going to be getting more female, and those females are what's going to be turning into your fruits. And so that's what you need to get not just pollination occurring, but that early fruit set, especially in your cantaloupe, your watermelon, your pumpkin, to increase that yield. The strategy at 2 to 4 leaf stage, meaning just transplant it out, 2 weeks literally after, you can apply Cytoplex at 30 ml. You can pair it with your Nutrient Express, and that's a recommendation here. And then 2 weeks later, you go back and do another foliar treatment. And that's going to give you that rapid takeoff, that excellent lateral branching. It's going to give you, again, those early fruits that are coming out. And this is where you're getting your 35 and 40 pounders from. In your cantaloupe, you're talking about when you see that nice lush blossoms in the cucumber, they are mostly male blossoms. The laterals, and you get more bearing from those lateral branches. So when you apply your Cytoplex, you're going to see the response. And again, I'm going to show you some images of some field work done that gives you that visual of what I'm referring to here and now. Now, the other member in what we call the 4x4 technology is your green stem. And this again too is the key. Let me see what's mentioned in the chat here. Neutral leaf is also present along with Kickstart. Excellent stuff going on in the chat. Yeah, man, keep the questions coming on in. And again, to other persons are in the chat who can respond just the same. Now, this product in question is what you need in this warm weather. For my Irish potato farmers, up in Huntley, Silver Grove, Devon, they don't leave this product out. Simply because green stem is a stress reliever. The betaines helps to relieve plant stress. And why do you want to relieve plant stress? Simply put, if the plant goes under stress, then the physiological or the biological activities are either going to slow down or stop. If that occurs, the plant is going to send messengers to those areas of the plant that are going to either fruit, and it's going to cut back from shoot production, and then it's going to produce a one pepper or a one tomato or a one big blossom. And so the plant is literally trying to save the future generation by pumping its DNA, its essential elements into that one fruit or fruits, so as to continuation of the species. But applying green stem now, what makes it up? Nutrient 2,8,14. That's an NPK. You're getting phosphites and phosphates in it. That's helping the plant to build its defense mechanism. You're getting betaines, which is also critical to help ward off that stress. You're getting carbohydrate or energy sources along with your amino acids and your vitamins. So you're giving the plant literally that one-off benefit or multiple benefit of saying grow and develop, continue that physiological process that I need, continue, overcome that stress or that stress factor. So be it high wind shear, green stem. If you're having excess rain, green stem. And if you're having this extended drought, then green stem is going to be your friend. And if the daytime temperatures are too high, then you also need your green stem. It can be applied fortnightly to your crop production activity. That's going to give you that excellent response there. Now,
Dane, one quick question. There's
sure.
a question on YouTube. Fitzroy is asking, what products can you apply to increase the females in pumpkin?
In pumpkin? Yeah, man. Cytoplex, that two application with Cytoplex, excellent for that activity. Add to that your green stem and your nutrient express at weeks 2 and week 4, and you're good to go, Fitzroy. Right there and then. So you're getting a double whammy right there. Make sure you can sell this pumpkin, do you know? I want to warn you from now. Make sure you can sell this pumpkin. If you don't have no market, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to make pumpkin ketchup and pumpkin soup and all these things because you're going to produce. Add to that also, get a nice 1 liter size of your Zampro, control that down the mildew just the same as you go into that pumpkin production. And you continue. So I hope that answers your question, Fitzroy. So your green stem here is going to give you that healthy plant with a high immunity. Why do you want that? All the major diseases and fungal are going to be reduced, or the plant can literally defend itself against these pathogens. So be it your fight after a root rot or your powder mildew, as I just mentioned to you, your downy mildew or your gummy stem blight in your curry cabbage, the plant can know it's building a defense to overcome or to ward off these things. So increase and maintain a productive life cycle, you're also going to get that benefit. Under stressful condition, again, such as your waterlogging, your virus or your mite attack, you'll need to apply your green stem. And that's why we add it to the virus program that we so use regularly, which is to add your Cytokinins, your green stem, along with your ZMC Express, which is going to give you the plant the ability to overcome. That's one. It's going to also open up the xylem and that phloem vessels that the virus is trying to cut off. Then that's the reason why you're seeing the mosaic look or the mottling or the what you call the blotches on the leaf surface. And that's because your magnesium channels are locked off. Your sodium channels are shut down in the plant. And so the plant can literally pick up these macro and micronutrients. And so cocktailing or putting together with the Cytokinins, your green stem, and the ZMC Express helps the plant to recover. It's gonna come back to full growth. It's gonna suppress that physical symptom that you're seeing and helps the plant to continue into its productive life. And so you can, if it's a virus control strategy you're using, this is basically every 4 days after the first application or every 3 days after your first application, depending on the severity of the problem that you're having. All right, so the crop is coming on in well, and you want to ripen up some tomatoes. I was going to say mango a while ago. I wonder why we're talking mango. You want to improve the color of your tomatoes. You want to improve the bricks of your watermelon or your cantaloupe. So this is the product to utilize. You can pair it with your Cytoplex to give you that nice size, or you can add as a standalone by itself. Note again, we're talking about NPKs and you're talking about micronutrients. Why are they there, farmers? They are included in the mix, not because they need to be there, but because it's essential to be present. And no mistake was made in pairing them together. You want sugars to move in your plant system, then you need the kind of micronutrients that's going to aid the movement of sugars. It's as simple as that. Your molybdenum, your boron, your magnesium, your manganese, your iron, and your zinc. That's the fundamental right there of moving plant nutrients, especially sugars, into storage organs. You can't get around it. So when you pick up another package, examine them when you're talking about bulking up. The 4-10-40 with that high potassium is also present to help that storage. So you're moving that sugar literally into those storage organs. You talk about the transcutaneous delivery system also being present. What are you going to be getting when you use a Sugar Express? You're talking about increased what? Fruit size, your sugar content, and it also influences the color. Even on some rose plants, when you apply Sugar Express or your orchids, trust me, the colors are more vibrant. They are more, even the fragrance itself is improved with a Sugar Express. The application in terms of your curcubits and your solanaceous plants vary, because in some you're going to multiple harvest, or in others you can do a one-off harvest. So there's a variation there. Now, your tomato, your eggplant, the peppers, basically 2 weeks after your fruiting has started, and then you can rotate that with a nutrient express, right? For your curcubits, 30 days prior to after planting, or just before harvest, you start applying your Sugar Express. And the idea there is to increase your size and your final quality, again, too, which is your bricks or your sweetness. We talk about the available sizes being in a 100 gram, 250 gram, a 500, as well as a 1 kg. All right, shouldn't preempt that yet, but this is where we've covered the nuts and bolts of these products, be it your Cytokin, your Green Sim, your Nutrient Express, your Sugar Express, your Cytoplex as well. Those are the nuts and bolts of it in terms of the why they work and how they work. Again, the programs that we developed are geared towards targeting biology or the physiological development of the crop itself, and to give the plant what it needs, when it needs it, and how it needs it. I see 2 other questions in the chat. Can Sugar Express boost sweet potato size? Yes, indeed, sir. Or this is Nigel Hines. Yes, Nigel, it can be used. Can it be used in hydroponics? What specifically? Is Sugar Express you're referring to? Or is it Kickstart? If you're talking about a product that is going to be applied foliarly, peaches, then yes, these products can be applied. If you're talking about a product that is going to be used as your base nutrient in your stock tank, then we would go with another blend of product that we have called the Agasol line that is so more suited for root feed rather than to apply foliarly. So let's look at some of the responses that we've had in terms of the crop development and what happens. Now, this is, when I mentioned 4x4 technology, we're talking about, you know, a 4x4 is, right? Them vehicles we can drive off-road and cause a series of development, or them can go anywhere in particular. Let me see somebody else respond. Was talking about the green sim. Yes, Peaches, it can be utilized in your hydroponic setup. Yes, indeed. All right. So the idea here is you can treat your planting material. So for Mr. Hines who asked earlier, can I apply it to my sweet potato? Yes. We've developed what we call a tuber treatment or a tuber dip or a slip treatment. Now the idea here, this is sweet yam or yams in question. We simply cocktail your green sim, your cytokin, or your green sim rather, your cytoplex and your nutrient express, or you could have swapped out nutrient express and added your kickstart. What are you expecting here? You want these heads to be growing and develop, and you want them to grow robust. And so the control is on the, well, I'm hovering over the treated plants or treated heads, and we didn't dip these. We simply mix the products in a knapsack sprayer and just sprayed over the actual heads themselves. And this is sweet yam that the farmer had. And on the other side, we didn't add, he just did his regular routine, which is to just add these into some sawdust. And as you can notice, you're getting some extensive root system development, and you're also getting that early vining coming out. So they break the dormancy faster, so you can move to field and do what needs to be done. That's how this product works when it comes on to that. So the question on YouTube, can Sugar Express be used in sweet corn? Most definitely it can be used. We're talking about improving that final quality, that bricks. So if a sweet corn is not sweet, then it's just corn, right? So you utilize your Sugar Express in that final stages. It's also going to give you that nice golden color. It's not going to cause the kernels to become tough, no, but just sweeter, and the quality exceptional. All right. So this is your planting material. In other crops, pineapples, we utilize it to give you that early root development, because pineapples have a tendency to have toppling over issues. You want to get that plant anchored and keep the plant upright, because if the toppling over occurs or if the plant leans left or right, then when it's fruiting time, that fruit is going to get sunburned. It's going to get sun scorched. And you don't want to have that happen, because that's a loss right there in terms of your production. All right, so this is sweet potato that we've used the technology to treat. So we get the slips, we immerse them for 5 minutes thereabouts, and literally soak them in a half a drum. In this instance, you can also add your insecticides to this mixture, but a word of caution now, farmers, make sure you're utilizing your protective gear if you're adding that insecticide to this mixture. Again, too, you can refer to our platform on YouTube. You can just type in carbon chemicals and then put space and then sweet potato, and you'll see the entire presentation that was done on this technology in question. But this is the result of it now. At weeks 3, 5, 7, and 9, we go again and apply cytokin green stem this time and nutrient express. So we pull out Cytoplex and add cytokinins. And those specific treatment causes or signals to this slip to produce more tuber roots, those food storage organs, rather than to run and to produce additional. So you just bear in mind, is Sugar Express healthy to humans? All right, yes, it is. It's made from food grade material. So bear in mind that once you apply it, it's not going to be harmful. This is actually plant-based minerals that you're feeding to the plant, and it's going to be absorbed. So it's of no health concern whatsoever. Not that you're going to consume the Sugar Express now, but I mean, once you apply it to the crop, then all should be safe from that application. Again, some additional examples. This is Cytoplex with Sugar Express to give you sizing. So you want your watermelon to plump out. This is a scallion knife, and this is a 5-inch knife. So you can see the size of your watermelon here. this technology is using the crop again to encourage and to enhance your food set and that continuity. Here again is Sugar Express that was asked in sweet potato to give the size, to give that excellent quality. So if you look at what you're seeing here, we bulk up time now, we add the Sugar Express to give you that additional storage of your carbohydrates to get the plant going. Let me just see what's in the chat here. Okay, you're welcome, Peaches. Of course, we here at Carbon Chemicals pride ourselves in providing the information that is relevant and current and factual to our viewers on our platforms. So again, in sweet peppers, you're seeing the multiple food set. Again, the strategy here is to give the plant what it requires, so as to give that added development that the crop needs. All right. So in scallion, we're talking about crops that are over. We've had a recorded the highest or the longest stalk we've seen is approximately 36 inches. That's 3 feet in terms of tall. So you're getting that bulk, you're getting that extended growth and development, and you're also increasing your overall rate of return. And here's a farmer, posing in her field, showcasing the scallion. So this is it at the end of it, and this is a side-by-side comparison, folks. We did the farmer control. We added one other product that we normally would carry in this middle treatment area, but this is Cytoplex paired with your Bio 20, and look at the length of these stalks. We're talking over 36 inches in length. You're getting more scallion to the clump, and you're also getting that added value in terms of rate of return. We're seeing up to 4,000 pounds being hauled off 1 square of land. So just imagine when you multiply that by an acre, we're talking about some 40,000 pounds of scallion that you can harvest by simply utilizing that. So will this presentation be on YouTube? I believe it's being recorded, certainly. So you'll get the additional information. And if you so require further, information on this, then of course you can always reach out to us on our WhatsApp line 401-4766, or be it Facebook, Instagram page for further questions. And if you need of agronomy services, then of course that too can be provided. So as we continue, this is the 4x4 technology here now in tomatoes. Now look at the blossom and fruit set as compared to the control. You're seeing them night and day, literally. This plant is what we call more generative, meaning that the energy is directed into fruit and flower set. So we're talking about that physiological development now, getting the plant to be what we call cytokinin dominant. That's what the science of it says. Give the plant the ability to reproduce rather than to remain vegetative. And these were planted and established at the same time in the same field, just that one or a set of rows were planted or treated and the others were not done so. All right, so is this presentation, okay, it's being streamed. So somebody wants further information. Again, the 4x4 technology in peppers. Here's what we're talking about. The cytokin, the green stem, the nutrient express, your ZMC Express, and applied. Your calcium, your boron in your ZMC, helping with your food retention. So you're getting that multiple food set, and the cytokin, the green stem, maintaining that stress relief and encouraging that root structure as well as shoot dominant. So you're getting all the way up to the last leaf, fruit and flower, and it continues throughout the crop cycle. And again, this farmer was proud to showcase and to show off his pepper crop, having utilized the Miller strategy in his crop itself. So as mentioned, we carry also ZMC Express, which contains your chelated micronutrients and macro. So it's a blend of macro and micro, again, targeted for key purposes. So you're getting greening from your magnesium, your zinc, and your iron, but you're also getting molybdenum being present, your manganese also, aiding with your flower and fruit set, directing that energy of the plant into being more cytokinin dominant, or what we call more reproductive dominance. And again, to calcium is added. So when you pair this with the other minerals, you're getting that continuity in terms of your crop. It can be applied via your hydroponic system, or as a liquid feed, or foliar in soil, whichever option. The ZMC Express is so flexible. The application range is from as low as 5 grams per gallon of water for foliar treatment, and it also comes in a 250 and a 100 gram size. Let me just respond to this question. Okay, so we're sharing the contact details here so folks can reach out to us on the various platforms. Now, exit is used as what we refer to as an activator or an adjuvant, and the intention here is to add this to your tank mix to give you that excellent surface coverage and to get more of a homogeneous mixture. So what is at the bottom, the middle, and to the sides are pretty much the same. It's going to also help you to get the application done more effectively, as well as to prevent what we call runoff, which is going to be preventing, again, to your phytotoxic effect, as well as that excessive transpiration, because it protects the product that you put down so it can do as you were targeting to do. And it comes as a 120, a 250, as well as a 1 liter size. And the range of application is as low as half to 1 teaspoon per gallon of water. Added to that too is your new P, which is a spreader sticker extender. Again, it contains what we refer to as non-ionic properties. And this is simply meaning, in layman terms, it's not going to alter the product that you're applying. It's going to, of course, help with its deposition, or to help it stay on the surface. So for persons who might be growing cabbages and so on, new P is an excellent product with your contact insecticide ranges. Again, too, like exit, it comes in a 120, 250, as well as a 1 liter size. And the application ranges from half to 1 teaspoon per gallon of water. All right, so here we have some farmer feedback in terms of a farmer in Springfield, St. Elizabeth, and this is Sandra Ranke, mentioning to you guys that the product itself is the best harvest she's had in, since she's been planting Irish potato. She's getting planted up to 3.5 bags, and this is a 50-pound bag, and she's reaping over 5,000 pounds, which is again to 31 to 1 in terms of that ratio right there. So for every 1 bag of potato, which is 50 pounds, she's harvesting 50 times 31 right there. So you're getting that high value return when using your soil grow, your Cytoplex, and your green stem in that initial seed treatment. Here is another fellow, Clive Noble in Lacovia, St. Elizabeth, saying that the Nutrient Express is the best product, works very well. He's been having a significant increase in his papaya production. And again, see even the bird hanging out, you're telling you that all is healthy and well going on in these plants. Just to remind you all that we do have a radio feature on Power 106, this on every Wednesday. Yours truly, along with John Johnson, will be on from 6:18 to 6:45. We'll be talking about tomato production. On Wednesday the 17th, which is next week, we're going to be having a training on general crop care, and this is going to be in Nutsfield. This is Islington in St. Mary. So for those persons,
that's tomorrow, not
tomorrow. Yes, sorry, my apologies. Yes, so for tomorrow, so Rowan Lewis will be in Islington. So for my farmers tuned in St. Mary, swing over and of course introduce yourself to Sir Lewis and let him know that you are on tonight, listening into the presentation. So again, tomorrow we'll be having a hot pepper training, and this is going to be in partnership with WUS or SAC, and this is going to be in Cancun Castle, and this is going to be in Hanover, and it starts at 10 a.m. Additional to that, too, on Thursday, the 18th, we'll be having a farmer training session. This is going to be in Prickapole in St. Anne, and Rowan Lewis again will be in field. Yours truly will be in Hayes, Clarendon, and we'll be at 11, and we'll be in Hot Pepper Field. So you'll see some feedback on our different pages with some of these training sessions and some of the highlights and clips from the day's activity. On the 18th, which is the Thursday too, we'll be having a training session on Dashin production where Saita and Evergreen will be featured. And this is going to be in New Roads at the New Roads Seventh-day Adventist Church, and this is going to be in Westmoreland. Cian Spence will be presenting at that point in time. Again, too, we'll be having General Crop Care, and it's going to be in Bracco. And this is Bracco, so all the Bracco farmers can turn out at 9 a.m. At the meeting site, which is in on the farm itself. So you can of course tune in to our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube live session. We'll be talking about the virus control strategy. You can of course get more details on how the products work and why they work and what would have occurred so as to give the plant that added recovery that was noted. So the slide that is up here are the team members who will be, of course, participating in the various activities. Feel free to reach out to us, be it in the Hanover, Trelawney, St. James side, where Mikem Harris and Alula Shaw resides and works, or be it in Central, where yours truly, Dane Parker and Charmin Walker Robinson works, along with the different in-store promoters. Again, too, in Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth, look out for Cian Spence and Andre Rans. Dion Soberon is also in field, of course, engaging all the various stakeholders at large. And again, Rowan Lewis and Patrick Kenyon in St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland, and also covering the St. Catherine, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas side is John Johnson. So look out for the different team members in and around. And of course, feel free to drop us a line, any questions at this time. And of course, feel free to participate in all the various activities that we carry and have. Any questions from you at this time? I know there were some questions in the chat. I do hope that those were covered at the time and the persons would have had their questions responded to in a timely manner. All right. I see where Georgia would have been responding as well to the various questions that were asked. So are these products in the farm store? Yes, they are. So depending on where you are, this is New Braun in Manchester. So if you are in the town of Mandeville, of course, you have the Starter, KDL, Dixon's Agricultural Supplies, Linclard, and many others are very much present and willing and ready to share. All right. So I see here that we also have that gift item for that lucky participant who would have been so ably dissecting and of course following along and contributing to the conversation. So the question tonight for all of us and for one lucky participant, for those who are on the YouTube platform, you can of course reach out to in the chat or type in the chat box. For those persons who are watching and want, you can of course add your questions, your response to the question in the. All right, so can these products be used on an organic farm? All right, so the new FMP is unlisted. Cytokin and Green Stem and Nutrient Express are also unlisted. So if you are allowed to use unlisted products, I know that I didn't say that they were organically certified, but they are listed as being safe to the extent where they can be utilized in such a manner. So I would say to you, yes, they can be utilized, be guided by the other protocols that you would have developed and are utilizing for your organic culture or your organic activities. But we do have persons using them here and now, be it in strawberries, in tomatoes, etc., etc. So now, the question at large, or the question tonight for all of us is, name the product that is used in, name two products rather that is used in the tuber dip or your seed treatment. So two of those products that are used in the tuber dip or your seed treatment protocol that I mentioned tonight. I showed you the or the young lady would have mentioned her Irish potato. So name two of those products that can be utilized in it. So you can feel free to drop. All right. So Nigel is saying green stem and cytokin. Yes, Nigel, you are very much correct. Congratulations, sir. You did indeed. You are indeed correct. Are there any other persons on Instagram or YouTube that has responded to the question? So
no, Papa.
Not as yet. So the benefit here is they added the cytokinin helping to break that dormancy and pushing that plant to grow. If there are other products enough, participants. So if you are thinking that is only cytokinin and green stem, then remember that there is also that one and that one that can be used. So, you know, still tell me. All right, green stem and sugar express. You have one correct, Tracy and Miss Spencer here. You would have been green stem with something else and not sugar express. So it's the wrong express one you have there. Hint, hint. I hope you type in same time as you remember what I say hint. So bear in mind that the products are available, and of course, feel free to drop us a line, and of course, let's continue the conversation as we grow your yields. Tracy, are you going to be responding shortly? It's not Sugar Express, but it's the other one. I don't think I can give you any further hints. All right, so with that being said, I do thank you for your participation. Did come back? So Nigel said the winner. Nigel is the winner for tonight. Excellent, Nigel. So keep up, continue to participate, and of course, so Nigel, you have indeed won for yourself an excellent prize courtesy of Caribbean Chemicals. So do have for yourself a wonderful rest of the night and continue to keep safe and feel free. And thanks for joining.